We already seen a good weekend of NFL preseason football. So on today's episode, I want to talk about some NFL rookies that made the most of their debut. And yeah, we got a couple on the docket today. But before we talk about it, break it all down, you gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby. So if you're tuned in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. But man, we had a good weekend of NFL preseason football. Definitely had a lot of rookies come out here and show out for themselves and put on some good tape as we move forward into NFL preseason week 2. Just gearing up for the regular season. A couple standouts that I have on the docket obviously won't be able to touch on everybody. So if I miss somebody, go out there and hit that comment box and let me know who I missed. But obviously, we got to show a lot of love to some of those top picks. But and sometimes you got to show a little love to a guy that had dropped off. The first person I want to talk about is Shedeur Sanders kicking it off where the lights were pretty damn bright. Not so bright as an NFL regular season game, but everybody and their uncle was waiting to see what Shedeur Sanders was going to do with his opportunity with the Cleveland Browns to start in this year's NFL preseason game for the Browns. And hey, Shedeur Sanders went out there and did pretty damn well, going 14 to 23 for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns with 19 yards on the ground. Hey, it was a tough situation for Shedeur Sanders to be in, definitely because we had a lot of people speaking on it that Shedeur Sanders did not receive those reps with the number one. So it's kind of like throwing him into the fire here and with trying to see what he's going to do. And he has no shot, and it's unfair. And I came out and I said, hey, this is the life of the NFL. This is just what happens, bro. So with what was the situation that Shedeur was in, we got to show him a lot of love to him. He made the most of his opportunity going out there, being accurate, being able to pick up on certain blitzes that the opposing team was giving him on said night. And he did a really good damn job putting on for himself and definitely grabbing the attention of his coaching staff. Obviously, it is just one preseason game. Obviously, you want to see Shedeur Sanders go out and now stack these performances up to give himself a really good chance of becoming a starter for the Cleveland Browns. But the job is not done. He still has a lot more work to do. He even said it himself. He graded himself as a C plus. I thought it was more like a solid B, especially given with the circumstances that he was thrown into. Definitely considering not him having so many reps with some of those number ones. But hey, once he settled in, he was accurate. He was on time. He made good decisions. We focused on the operation, and he did a really good job in that. Now in week 2, Shedeur Sanders is going to go up against a Philadelphia Eagles team who didn't really play a lot of their starters in the first week. But my expectations is that they will play some of their ones just to give them a little bit of a run in week 2 of the preseason. So if Shedeur Sanders is slated to start again, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how he handles that situation. The next rookie that I'm going to put up there is Jackson Dart. We're giving a lot of love to the quarterbacks because the quarterback is the most important position on the NFL squad, especially that offensive side of the ball. But Jackson Dart, hey, this was a guy that was picked over Shedeur Sanders. So there had to be reason. We heard some of the reasons why the Giants want to go out there and pick up Jackson Dart, but I didn't necessarily agree with it. I thought that Shedeur Sanders would have been the better fit, but hey, obviously the Giants felt something else, and that's their right. And they went out there and selected Jackson Dart, and he made the most of his opportunity, going 12 of 19 for 159 yards and a touchdown, while leading the Giants to 3 consecutive scoring drives in the second quarter, which is pretty damn impressive. And then Coach Brian Dable over there with the Giants said that he was efficient, effective, aggressive, and confident in the pocket. And that he was. Again, it's only week 1 of preseason, so we have to, just kind of take it for what it really is and see how these young fellas, these young rookies continue to improve. So that's the next thing we're going to be watching for as the preseason moves on, as we get into the regular season, how these guys continue to adjust to the NFL game. Because sometimes you start off hot, you might fizzle out a little bit, or you start off a little rough and then you get a little better, or you just have a bad rookie season. So you don't necessarily know how it's going to go for all these guys, but at least for right now, Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart, they look pretty damn good. The only thing I want for Jackson Dart, I understand he's a big guy. I understand he has some athleticism, but this is the NFL. You can't be taking all them hits, bro. You got to get down. You're not Josh Allen, bro. Yeah, we even had those conversations around the NFL world of Josh Allen getting down and not taking so many hits, and he has, lesser, some of those hit that he has taken over years past, especially last year and the year prior to that. Definitely not taking a lot of hits. But if you absolutely understand the situation, you're gonna go pick up those extra yards and take that hit. But you want to see Jackson Dart get down and slide, at least for right now, because you still have a long season to go, young fella. But good job on the first game. The next guy is Cam Ward. Cam played well. He was all right. He came out a little rough, you know what I'm saying? But he got things going. Cam played well in his 2 seasons, Coach Brian Callahan said. He said it was kind of weird. It was kind of a weird first half with 3 possessions. Had 1 3 and out and came back and led a touchdown drive. I thought he looked good and started to feel comfortable. He was begging to go back in, but that wasn't in the cards tonight. I thought he did some good things, and it's encouraging. And I think that's the perfect way to put it. It's definitely encouraging for Cam Ward, a guy like Cam Ward. He got some solid receivers around him. He's definitely going to have to continue to improve. You want to see what the Tennessee Titans are going to be able to do down there in the AFC South. So, good start for Cam Ward as the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft that just passed a couple months ago. But I would say still got more work to do. Let's make sure we try to get that going a little bit faster, but let's also make sure that we taking care of the football like he did, and let's make sure that we can hit our receivers, and you receivers in your offensive line, you're going to be able to help them. One thing that I found fascinating is that Cam Ward, that was one pass throw to Calvin Ridley. It looked like he could order a Domino's pizza back there. He was just chilling. And he was real calm and collective. It kind of reminded me of a time when he was out there with the Miami Hurricane. I thought he was down there in Miami again, the way he was just sitting back there chilling, you know what I'm saying, and then delivered the pass on the money. You want to see more of that from my man. Now, Travis Hunter is the next guy that I'm going to put up on there simply because trying to take advantage of the opportunity. Me personally, I don't think it was the cleanest for Travis Hunter, but you've seen little glimpses and things here and there on both sides of the football of what the Jacksonville Jaguars are trying to do with Travis Hunter. But I got to question it. I got to see what's to it because, yes, he made some plays on the offensive side. Yes, he made some plays on the defensive side. But me personally, just watching it, never really felt like Travis Hunter was able to get it going. It is preseason. Again, it is preseason, but you want to see how these reps continue to stack up for him because I think that, yeah, you're seeing some missed tackles here. You're seeing his size will be a thing, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I think you're not going to see it this season. So you're not going to see the bulk up this season. But moving forward, he got to add the weight. He has to add the weight if he's going to play both sides of the football. Being that lean and trying to go out there and tackle wide receivers and running backs is going to be a tall task for him because you've seen some of the tackles. He wants to go low, really low, and just try to use the shoulders. But if he's able to add on that weight and bulk up a little bit more, you'll see him be able to deliver a little more of a thump on the tackling side, at least defensively. Then on the offensive side, we've seen a little bit of the playmaking ability. Obviously, it is preseason. The reps were limited or whatnot. But on the offensive side, he's going to have to be able to put on a little bit of weight to be able to take those physical hits on the offensive side. So you got 2 things he got to worry about. But hey, Liam Cohen said this. He missed 1 tackle defensively that I noticed. Like that was the only thing that I kind of noticed in terms of his about his overall play. Yeah, y'all know that was a grammatical error from the article. I'll have to watch the tape on how he operated defensively a little bit more, but I thought offensively he made the right decisions on those option routes. He made a good catch and almost broke out of that one. He did. Like I said, he took advantage of the opportunity. He gave us glimpses of what it could be like if he was going to play both sides of the football. But I think that he's going to have to find a way to get comfortable. I think that you're going to have to make a decision on what side of the ball that you're going to play more often. And then let's just say for the sake of discussion, he wants to play offense a little bit more, and then you utilize him maybe at the end of the first half, and then you come in maybe at the start of the second half on that defensive side of the ball a little bit more, and especially the fourth quarter, because I think that me personally, I think Travis Hunter is a better cornerback than a wide receiver. Maybe I could be wrong. That's just what my eyes are telling me. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Last, I want to talk about Abdul Carter. Look, Abdul Carter, if you look at the stat sheet, he only had one tackle. No sack, no pressure, no nothing. But look, man, if you watch the tape, you go back and you look at the tape, the man, along with those other guys on that defensive line, is going to be a monster. I think right now, looking at the New York Giants, a lot of people are not paying attention to the New York Giants pass rush. We're talking about Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence. They are going to be a problem. I don't know how many games the New York Giants are going to win. I don't know how many games they're going to win. But that defensive line is going to wreak havoc if you don't have good upfront protection. And that's a fact. I believe it's going to be a fact real soon. I believe that a lot of people have underrated that defensive line, or they're simply not paying attention. But I got to give love to Abdul Carter because he showed why he was touted as probably the best player in this year's draft. And it is early on. You're going to want to see what he can do against, some more starters on the opposing team. You want to see what he wants to do or going to do once the regular season rolls around. But man, is it not a sight to see how many moves this man has in his tool bag? It is absolutely ridiculous how many moves Abdul Carter got in his tool bag. And I think that he's going to add on to that defensive line that was already pretty damn good. He's going to make it so much better as a rookie, and he's going to show that he's a dog. Obviously, we couldn't get to all of the rookies that impressed this weekend. I seen a little bit of a Mecca Ibuka down there in Tampa Bay as well. I was like, hold on now. I always thought that was a great pickup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, hey, we're going to keep our eyes open. And I know one guy that a lot of people have been beating down is Ashton Genty. They have not liked what Ashton Genty was able to do. But, hey, I'm looking at it like this. You ain't running much if the guys up front ain't blocking. And, only received a certain amount of rushes in an NFL game. But I'm not ready to count the young fella out. Like I said, it is just one preseason game. A lot of these guys, though they have impressed in week one, they have to continue to stack performances up and help coaches check boxes and be like, okay, we can utilize this player here. Okay, we can go ahead and make sure we can pencil them in here. And these guys just got to get their rhythm going. And for running backs, going back to Ashton Genty, for running backs, rhythm is everything for a lot of running backs. They just can't start the game off, hit the ground running. Some of them can. Some of them need a little bit more time to get the wheels turning and then break down a defense, make it hard for them to tackle them. And then in that second quarter, that third quarter, it starts to pick up, and then they add full gear. That's what we're going to have to see what Ashton Genty is going to carve out for himself in this NFL season. But hey, again, if I miss somebody and you felt like that you watched them, you thought that they stood out for this NFL preseason week one, let me know. Drop it down in the comment box for me and let me know how you're feeling. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in into another episode. Before you get up out of here, hit that comment box. Let me know how you feel about today's episode as well. We appreciate y'all over here on NFL Central, man. And y'all already know I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, for sure.
This has been a presentation of the